Guy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we're going in.
All right.
All right.
So who's up first? Alan Harris. Alan Harris? Alan Harris. And let me give you the anonymous poem for you. For sakes here. Here's your anonymous poem there, Alan Harris. The wonderful and lordly Alan Harris.
When you hear this man speak, why I mangled what he did.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is entitled Love Poem. O love, how to sate the thirst, touchless, completing each other's need, faceless, to settle into hunger, split, a waning moon, plucking, desire like thorns of a cactus beyond the shadow of the earth. I know the greed of a monk. May a kind saint took pity on me.
Bravo! Well read!
It was an honor to read that.
Thank you, Alan Harris.
Legal disclaimer. Use of this product may cause death or death-like symptoms. This product contains chemicals which are known to cause death or death-like symptoms in laboratory animals. Discontinue use of this product if death or death-like symptoms occur. Consult a physician if death or death-like symptoms continue for more than 2 weeks after discontinuing use of this product. The manufacturers of this product cannot be held responsible for any death or death-like symptoms that may result from the use of this product, because congressional Republicans, through legislation, have been chipping away at our legal system's ability to seek redress for individuals who have been harmed by products manufactured by or practices practiced by huge corporations, because congressional Republicans are more concerned with the profitability of huge corporations than they are with the health and safety of you and me. Legal disclaimer, voting for Republicans may cause death or death-like symptoms.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a little dated. I wrote it about 10 years ago.
I'm not interested in dating.
Been there.
What is our relationship? Is it a sitcom, or a western, or a music video, or a talk show, or a game show, or one of those groundbreaking Italian neo-realist films from the 1940s, or a documentary about why the rest of the world hates America so much, or a public access cultural affairs show about how the government has abandoned us and we're essentially on our own, or a debate between a Democrat, a Republican, a lit trap, but not Ralph Nader? Or a reality show in which we see whether or not regular people, just like you and me, are willing to waterboard their children. Personally, I think our relationship is a murder mystery, and the clues are all over the place. Any idiot could figure out who the killer is, but no one wants to call the cops because they're probably in on it anyway. And besides, denial is fun, and fear is good cardio, and fairness is relative, and Jesus is a Republican, and patriotism rocks, and cats bark, and tall people are short, and Gandhi was a hitman. Or maybe not. Maybe fairness can beat the shit out of fear and denial. And maybe patriotism is as toxic as a clogged colon. And maybe Jesus is a Naderite. And maybe love is a verb. Thank you. Have a birthday, Dan.
Thank you, Alan Harris.
Wit, intelligence, decency. That's it.
That's good. That's a 3 for 3.
Art Gordon is next.
Whippy, thanks.
Wit, intelligence, decency?
There's a problem in reading this, like you said, there's a very small print part, and
Do you want to each try these glasses?
I don't know if those will help.
Well, I'll hand them to you, see if they work.
Small.
Huh?
It's very small.
What? Here.
This one makes
So you get on the mic up here so people can hear you.
no, I can't. I want the mic here if I can.
Oh, all right. Hold on a second. Here, see if this works. Yes, no?
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not gonna get the video to connect to it.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
I just didn't want to be right by the light.
Yeah. Let me get this one. I have something here. Have a seat. I'll get it to you. Do I have to sign?
There are, you know that I always wonder about the depth of my own work because I don't know where it goes, so I'm going to read this. This is one version of two beginnings of a novel. I don't have the second ending to this first part. So this is called Letter to Artists Young and Old. Morning broken with arrow glance. I think of this as approaching writing Finnegan's Wake. Morning broken with arrow glance to near away from David King, king of burger, weed dust, nigger, say no negro, we, who round star, prince, prances, print, many man down in street, vulnerable, able to be need, whose came the way of doing it, began the scorn with sureness of all himself, doubt, king sleeping, there of go by the way, and then only merely home to say, hey, man down in gutter, thought, look, watch arriving, to Dave id, I deepened, I depend, ear food, recall, human poem, this is as ever God in all theirs, here is, are, the pulsing, the eyes are calling non-music. Now Jonathan began beg of universe to settle himself to task of thinking long ago, the street puddled others, caves, oh no, you must only me, always, why those two go so deeply? We are home, the home born by high school, nearly hand reach, move smooth, go, rob, joke, choking, joke of dark room, old Jews, whispers, rob, king turn pain to me in presence of dead roses, the end whistle to worn, green gray t-shirt, mourning vulnerables recall. Here in the now, ever present, desert David's closet arrives, spirit of fair distances, wild behind times recall, pom, oh, ah, all, crowds noticing scraps, ting, we go on, go. Street man down, throat cloth, paramedics, truck lights wilding, oh you, my hands, yours, music. Then to refurbish later, oh ha, all day again. Lion waking, almost you must waken the beast scene of takeover blasts. Will be now and then David spies low on your own. Okay, leave off music. It must be my silence, desert silence, supreme quiet before no stop. The pain comes coming. There is no none here. Hungry stay your writing. Right what is wrong, our young brothers. Bothers with the mundane, eats a peanut butter sandwich. Sister here is a fairly new approach to you and I. We did not predict such complications as living life would bring us two and only others, but now spirit is engaged in a great civil war to determine split liberty impossible, and never is the times of our lives. To be such is my worst dream, to be no dream would event a possible alone for me, so I take myself to the task of this. Wakes up and looks out the window. There is a man walking along. I see he is going in this such direction. I think David is not David, but Adele, and then this tale begins to fold around my heart, warm and like seas drifting on earth. Despite any wayward try, there is love unrevertible now. My Jonathan is not, he is me, I am not him. The other day I transgressed into thinking I would be the dead man in the middle of the avenue, and I came to this district. When the spooks talk to me, I can hear ocean waves. It is scary to say the least of it. Any or every could plunge in and rid me from those sea waters. Anyway, to get back. Thus I feel today as the sun almost is rising. Do you remember the Gelman's grand concourse sea above? You and I remembered our speech once from that venue, Hiya, how to do, and it was not then as it is the blonde face sifting in to take Ardell from his place in my life. Earlier the garbage truck went by like these thoughts always alone with me, and I would touch our men's shoulder, hand even to receive something of comfort. Gelman's, from where David comes, and David comes, and David came. David came. Jonathan is biblical, Dave's biblical buddy, you must know. The fair blonde, I do not know his name. He wants to eat me, to smile and let me touch his. Yes, this is the story of day after day begins so and rides on till the end, wherever all are here now.
Thank you. That's your time. Thank you so much.
Marta,
Wendy, thank you for helping.
Marta Pombo, please.
Marta, all the way from Barcelona. And points east. So Ryan, as he comes up here, we'll get that organized. And we forgot to do this, but this is the anonymous poem that we ask you to read, and then read what you might like to do. How are you?
Is Marta a first timer?
Fine.
No, she was here last year.
Last summer.
Last summer.
All right.
Yeah.
Just get really close to the mic though, because that way the.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Perfect. Well, thank you. It's an honor.
You're
Yeah?
welcome. Thank you.
This is a very happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
So, Clary, excuse me my accent. Some words I won't be able to pronounce very well. English is my third language, yeah? Take
Yes.
this into consideration, please.
Where are all your languages?
The first one's Catalan. That's my first language.
Catalan?
Catalan, and then the second one's Spanish.
And Catalan is
Barcelona. No.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes, Catalan is spoken in Catalonia, and Catalonia is still, because we don't know what will happen in the future, but it's still part of Spain. You know, on October the 1st, we Catalans want to hold a referendum on independence, and the Scottish people were allowed to do that, people in Quebec as well, but the Spanish government doesn't allow our referendum, doesn't allow our right to self-determination, so we will see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah? But
All right.
okay, I'm not here to talk about politics. The poem here, Clary Hugh. Thank God, Daniel Philip Brady made the sacrifice he made. He laid his chalk and textbooks down, started hosting sacred grounds. Okay, Robert
Levert Smith. He's not here right now, but that's he would have loved to hear you do that. That was good.
Even though I stumbled.
No, it's good. Thank you so much.
Okay, now what am I going to read? A poem in Catalan. Yeah?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, it's
I have to find it.
Street.
Thank you.
you like the history?
67. The problem is that I have more than 50 poems on the mobile phone. And it's very difficult to find. Mm. 67. When you're traveling, you don't have paper. I haven't found it. I'll read another one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, here it is.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In Catalan first, yes?
Yes.
You can just listen to the cadence. Maybe you'll grasp something. La rosa. Fa prou anys que aquesta rosa se'ns imposa i ens fa nosa. S'acomoda i punxa roda del procés que hem engegat. Però el somni és més a la vora, cap en fora en aquesta hora. Bé camina tot i espina, internacionalitzat. Cap partit amb altra rosa, ni cap llosa d'altra cosa ens detura. Som gent dura. El procés és realitat. Democràcia és qui vota, raó tota, com esgota. La veu alça i no és falsa, el poble manifestat. La que vull és altra rosa, ni s'imposa ni fa nosa. Amb sa flaire un altre aire, rosa de la llibertat. I made a Google translation, so it's not very good, but so you know what it talks about. So it is actually the rose, and it would be something like this. Enough years of this rose that wants to impose, bothering us. It fits well and clicks the wheel of the process we have started. Yet the dream is coming nearer, walking outward at this time. Even with such a rose spine, it's become internationalized. No other party with another rose, nor any Slav else, will stop us people. We are hard. The process is reality. Democracy is who votes. We all reason, but it is exhausting. The voice rising, not being false. The people demonstrating. What I want is another rose that doesn't bother or impose. With its scent, a new air. Rose of freedom. Can I read something in German?
Ja, bitte.
Jawohl.
Dankeschön. Does anybody speak German here?
Jawohl.
Ah,
She knows some. You know more than some.
Ja, ja.
Ja. Lieb naar een herzen.
the problem is looking for them.
So ein Schnauzer, so ein Stück.
Ah.
We're just back to roses. That's all.
Ja.
Ah, here it goes. Tal der Nebel. Verbendungen, Verbindungen als V oder als F werden sie ausgesprochen. Ach, ist es so kompliziert. Wir werden infiziert von dieser deutschen Sprache. Jetzt kommt mal meine Rache. Faulenzen, die Seele baumen lassen. No fotre res heißt es auf Katalanisch. Auf Deutsch ist aber positiv. Wie gut, wie schön, wie kreativ. So finde ich diese Sprache. Doch schwierig ist sie auch. Mein Kopf ist voller Rauch. Ein Tal der Nebel. I'll try the English translation again, Google. So this was at, I'm a German teacher. I teach in a high school, and it was a workshop, and everybody was trying to be engaged, how to teach the students. And I was thinking of the poems. The teacher, the trainer was saying something, and it just came out with this. Yeah. So, Verbendungen, Verbindungen, as if they are pronounced as F. Sorry. Oh, it is complicated. We are infected by this German language. Now comes my revenge. Lays, to let oneself go. No fotre res. It means in Catalan. In German, it is however possible. Positive. How good, how beautiful, how creative. So I find this language, but it is also difficult. My head is full of smoke, a valley of fog.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hal Robbins. Hal Robbins, come to the phone, please. I mean, microphone, please. And maybe arrange that microphone so while you keep that.
This manuscript left behind. How is about the anonymous selection?
Oh, yes, the anonymous.
All right. Well, this selection is not anonymous. It's by Charles Bukowski. The Laughing Heart. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Be on the watch. There are ways out. There is light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you.
Thank you.
And to continue slightly on a theme raised by the last poet, I'll start with one by William Blake called The Sick Rose. O Rose, thou art sick. The invisible worm that flies in the night through the heart of the howling storm has found out thy bed of crimson joy, and with his dark, secret love does thy life destroy. And this is by James Wright, Saint Judas. When I went out to kill myself, I caught a pack of hoodlums beating up a man. Running to spare his suffering, I forgot my name, my number, how my day began, how soldiers milled around the garden stone and sang amusing songs, how all that day their javelins measured crowds, how I alone bargained the proper coins and slipped away. Banished from heaven, I found this victim, beaten, stripped, kneed, and left to cry. Dropping my rope aside, I ran, ignored the uniforms. Then I remembered bread my flesh had eaten, the kiss that ate my heart. Flayed, without hope, I held the man for nothing in my arms.
Nicely done.
Happy birthday, Dan. And I'm willing to explain to anyone who asks me how those two selections actually fit in with the theme of today. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hal Robbins, Dr. Hal. I've been remiss. He did read a poem by someone else, and so I'm handing him the attribution sheet. I should have done that with everybody because...
Bukowski.
Huh?
Bukowski. Charles Bukowski.
But plus also the other people. Bukowski and
What is the title of that?
Here, let
Rose. It was something about roses.
Sick Rose.
There it is. All right, and who's next?
Oh, that was Dwight.
Hadley
Right.
Fresh. Haley? Is it Haley?
Yes.
Are you new? Haley. She is new, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a real round of applause. Ample noises, hanging on the floor. Hit the table. Come on, go. Wahoo! Oh my God, it's Haley! And are you from New York?
No, I'm from San Francisco.
Oh, good. So really get close to the mic because otherwise they will.
Do you want?
Yeah. Let me I can turn it up a little bit, but just. There you go. Try it now.
Is this good?
Is that everybody okay?
Should we make it higher?
Oh yeah. Can
Make it higher?
just raise it up a little bit and then get really on. Yeah.
Oh, yes. You know the quote. That was a George W. Bush quote.
All right. Go. You ready?
Yeah. Do you want me to read?
Oh yes. Sorry. Everybody's so helpful. This is the anonymous poem that you're sharing.
Not anonymous.
It's not anonymous. It's your poem, right?
That's my point.
Okay. All right.
Buford, is that correct?
Buford. Yes.
Okay. The women and the men?
Yes.
Sorry, handwriting is wrong. Okay. The women come in and look around the coffee shop. College women, I guess, wrinkle-free or as close to it as anyone gets, who's over 15 years old. Another young woman looks up from her book, the sun shining on her hair. An older man with a cigarette stands outside and puffs.
Nice.
well, this is my first open mic ever, so bear with me.
Oh, come on, another one. Let's go. Welcome this person. Open mic. Woohoo! Remind me there's a calendar.
Raise it.
Huh?
I said raise the sting.
What?
Never mind.
Woo! Right? What'd you say?
You know, woo!
Oh, yeah.
Raise the roof.
Raise the roof. Come on, let's try it again, ladies. Give it first time. First time. Come on, first time. Woo!
Raise the sting.
There's this. There we go. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
I have 2 poems, both of which I wrote for a poetry creative writing class I took last fall. The first is called Reconciliation. She told him that she was fascinated by religion, even though she always struggled to believe in it. When a heart breaks, it's not always even, and she can't see through the cracks to make it out of Eden. All she wanted was for him to be her savior, and he only wants her when she's on her worst behavior. In the midst of all her sacrifices, she's screaming, "Crucify me," but he refuses to acknowledge that she might be holy. She's been begging him to take her to church, and he's been telling her to give up on her search. She swore to God and swears he stopped loving her, when she's only found resurrection in the moments when he touches her. When he kisses her, she starts speaking in tongues. She breathes in, and the spirit fills her lungs. He can't get enough of the way he thinks she tastes, and she wonders if this feeling is akin to faith. She's been humming to herself in the rhythm of a hymn, but he tells her not to be confused with songs of sin. She's already forgotten 9 of 10 commandments, and takes his indifference as a testament. The crown of thorns she once adorned now lays strewn across the floor. He's telling her to practice what she's preaching. Prayers fill her veins and turn into the poetry she's bleeding. In the name of the Father, the Son, and this holy sadness, having a love like this is blasphemous. She's convinced herself her sins turned him into a heathen, but in the candlelight of hell, the devil looks more like an angel than a demon. This is called Falling. Walking home tonight, a lone flake on my cheek. Lone is the root of the words lonely and alone. Twisting her arm slightly to rest her fingers on my bruises, she said, "It almost looks like a hand." And I said, "Almost." To live is to fall horizontally, falling in love and out, no one to fall back on or in front of. And people aren't afraid to be alone in the dark. They're afraid they're not actually alone. White flakes turn purple in the moonlight, the snow falling down now.
Wow. Thank you, Haley. Come back. Ed my cue. It's your cue. And then we got Greg, then Kevin, then Wendy Walters, the mini, and then John, and looks like Spirit.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yeah, John, and then looks like
India.
Oh, okay, all right. And then Audrey is also there. All right, let me just.
Do I get a poem?
Oh, yes, you do get a poem. Thank you so much. The last anonymous poem of the evening.
After all.
Yes. This is for Dan Brady on his birthday. A birthday, flowers, balloons, cake, candles, candles in bottles, candles on cakes, large candles lit in ceremony, celebration of years of love and joy, years of longing, years of hope, candles lit in memory for yesterday, candles of tomorrow, candles for a century, before and after birthdays, celebrating centuries, celebrating days, celebrating loves, celebrating Dan. Karen Melander Magoon. Kangaroos. Kangaroos look like giant mice.
heavy in the hindquarters, like they're the lost tribe of marsupial lawyers escaped from a late 21st century gene splicing accident and who have evolved back downward into our centuries because of radiation reversal. True, also, sometimes they look like deer, or like Eohippus, which was the first horse, and that looked like a pig. And it's nothing I can prove, except for my theory about mice. And this is for the Sandoral. Carnivory in the plant kingdom. Eating during bankers' hours, during the time others are sawing wood and the termites are eating it. Hunger is first things first, not sex, not shelter. You live, learn, and still and always knock on wood because you're never too young to step up to the plate. But you have to prioritize, especially if you are a vegetarian, as big as a reindeer. From the get-go, when you are beating the tom-tom for dinner, you don't shilly-shally or you're so full of beans, though it's no skin off your teeth. As for freeloaders, with time passing, for anyone who knows his onions, those layabouts will soon learn a new rite of passage when they are deader than a doornail, okay? Plants eat animals. Animals eat plants and other plants. But do plants eat other plants? Fungi, are they plants? Geez, Louise, you say it's screwy Louie, as far as the eye can see. But all you really need to know is that time flies, enter the ointment, because if it isn't omnivory or carnivory, it's herbivory and a herd of hippos. Finally, green thing. Hush, Vanessa, life is green. What looks like a weed thing may be a string bean. What looks like a twig thing may become a lemon tree. What seems unpromising at first may end up quenching thirst. You always think things come too slow and never come fast. But growing takes time, Vanessa, and the best may shuffle in last.
Ed McHugh.
All right, I gotta change it up a little bit. We think it's great.
I made a minor error, so it's Garrett Murphy, then Greg Pond, then Kevin. So Garrett, you're next. Give her Garrett. This is a great poet, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot, and I wrote him in, but then I goofed that up. So give him a round as he comes up here. Well known, well regarded. Then we got Greg and Kevin, then Wendy, and then we got another set of 5. So try to keep your things brief because I want to have everybody on, but you know how that is. Oh, yeah.
The Oppressor Rulebook.
I love it.
Attention! If you are reading this or hearing this, you have no doubt purchased the Oppressor Rulebook. Rest assured, our aim is to take you through each commandment in this manual to make you achieve all your efforts work for your investment. We shall begin the reading of the commandments, which are as follows. Oppressors expect kudos from the ones they oppress. Oppressors feel good by making others feel bad. Oppressors pick symbols as easy targets instead of going after the actual culprits. Oppressors believe that they are the soul of existence. Oppressors believe that only they can be right and are shocked that others can possibly think for themselves. Oppressors always believe that they are perfect, so how dare we oppose them? The oppressors' favorite hiding places are tradition, popular opinion, authority, poll numbers, and sound bites. Oppressors never believe that good actions are wrong. Oppressors never believe they can never be wrong. That is what makes them oppressors. Warning, some oppressors believe they can never be oppressors simply because the institutions make that impossible. On the contrary, you don't have to be a race to be an oppressor. You don't have to be a gender to be an oppressor. You don't have to be an economic state to be an oppressor. Don't have to be a hierarchy to be an oppressor. Don't have to be a religion to be an oppressor, or ideology, size, nationality, or any other demo to be an oppressor. You just have to oppress to be an oppressor, and not even for 24 hours to be an oppressor. And you sure can't be born an oppressor, for oppression is action plus intention, not accident of birth. Oppression is oppression, is oppression, is oppression. Therefore, you too can be an oppressor. And now the replies from the makers and readers of this book. What do you have to say? No, poppycock, preposterous, erroneous. I do it because I love you. Baloney, I didn't do anything wrong. Deal with it. It's your fault, your problem. Get with the program, go with the flow because I said so. Respect your elders, just jealous. It's all in your mind. You'll thank me for today. Obey authority, my way or the highway. Do as I say, never mind what I do. It's your destiny. It's genetic. In your face, you just made it up, made it up, made it up. Well, what can you expect from a perpetrator but a typical oppressor line? That concludes this reading of the Oppressor Rulebook. See never for more options.
Never for more options. Garrett Murphy, thank you. Thank you. Greg Kahn. Greg Kahn, the miraculous and wonderful.
Oh, great.
The cheerful and happy. The heroic and grand.
Greg Bond's white courtesy telephone.
Greg Pond, white courtesy.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Greg. Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
I like that guy.
All right. Okay. It's going to be two. This
No
one.
more anonymous?
Yeah, everything we're done with the anonymous.
Okay. This one was written with tongue firmly in cheek. A racist ponders reparations. All they ever do is complain and fuss about stuff from many years ago. How we made them ride the back of the bus, though we don't make them do that no more. The days of slavery have long since faded, so why are they demanding compensation? Only takes one crazy jerk to shoot up a church for them to say all white folks spew hate. They're trying to make us feel bad about displaying our Confederate flag proudly on our state license plates. If Fox News reports spades are running wild, then I'll keep my cards close to my vest. Who gives a good goddamn about them being free at last, as long as they accept being second best? Now I hear them requesting reparations to get what they feel they deserve. Well, if they think they'll get a penny from me, a single crumb, let alone an apology, then they got some hell of a nerve.
Hell of a nerve.
All right, in the interest of time,
Thank you.
and since I wore this shirt, I figured I may as well make a connection here. So I'll need the sheet,
Oh, yes, I'll have that ready for you.
because this is written by somebody else. This was written by a gentleman named Bob Dylan, and it was a song that he recorded and also recorded by this gentleman here, and it's called All Along the Watchtower.
Oh, I love it.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine. Plowmen dig my earth. None will level on the line. Nobody of it is worth. Hey, no reason to get excited. The thief, he kindly spoke. There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let us not talk falsely now. The hour's getting late. Hey, all along the Watchtower, princes kept the view, while all the women came and went, barefoot servants too. Outside in the cold distance, a wildcat did growl. Two riders were approaching, and the wind began to howl. All along the Watchtower, all along the Watchtower.
Wow. Greg. There you go. The attribution sheet. Thank you, Greg. I used to call, sometimes I look up The Voice. The Voice.
Kevin Reinhardt.
Kevin Reinhardt, I know you're here, and you're all the way from England. England. Tell about that.
England.
England.
Dan!
What?
Dan!
Thank you.
AIDS is about the same age as hip hop. Next week on the history of the 20th century, Pearl Jam's debut album and how it sounds better now than it did at the time, but not much. The night was still. Not 2-week-old bottle of Coca-Cola still, but the silence after we asked 100 Uber drivers to name 5 straight matinee idols. All that stirred was the hair on the back of my neck, the breath of my midlife crisis, so close I turned and whispered in its ear, that mediocrity my youth so rusted after, you're welcome to it. That, the dartboard, the pornography, and the air rifle. Sesame Street. My 94-year-old grandmother is on Sesame Street. At her feet, infant Hispanics look up in awe. From her mouth hangs a 6-foot menthol cigarette, at least half of which is ash. Between drags, she teaches them how to count, numbering all her friends who've died in the past year. Big John's karaoke. He's just seen off Elvis and is about to take on Gene Pitney. Leaving his half of Guinness untouched, Roy Orbison heads for the door, as only a man in shades would. This is about a holiday in Reykjavik. Reykjavik, beautiful part of the world. I went in summer, where it's kind of light till midnight. Actually, I often come over here, it's about 11th time in San Francisco, and I'm usually here with my wife, but I'm here on work, so she's not with me at the moment. She's really disappointed about that. She's on holiday in Salzburg, in Austria, near where they filmed Sound of Music, the Julie Andrews film. Yeah. I asked her, I said, do you like Sound of Music? She said, are you a nun or a Nazi? She said, both. That's my wife. This is called The Man Who Fell to Reykjavik. What is the bird that flies north in the summer, ending up at the Reykjavik Jazz Festival by mistake? What is this uncharted planet of juxtaposition, familiar life, alien terrain I have fallen to? I ask these questions of the border collie with the 1,000-yard stare chained to the railings outside the supermarket in the high street. Unanswered, I turn to the reassuring indifference of cats for comfort. Every church looks like a space rocket. It's like some kind of race to heaven going on here. Viking delinquency is now confined to children's playgrounds where they monopolise the swings and the seesaws. My pilgrimage of the bus I take every morning and its late night mirror image, the predominantly female driven taxis, prove to be a reliable source of radio transmission and as such provides valuable clues as to what it is they wish to convey the man who fell to earth. 3 days in, the noise dissipates and the signals start to make sense. They have something to say. It is not, we are your friends, or we come in peace, but rather this. Where you are being here and now, however many hours you throw at it, there is no hiding from the light. And as you've probably already figured out, whenever we play Bob Dylan, it must always be followed by Elton John. Don't ask us why, for we are as much in the dark of nature's secret as you are. Right, last poem for me in San Francisco. It's called Too Extreme for California. Sunday morning, 5 a.m, Mardi Gras in Union Square, the Cheesecake Factory working overtime. Some dogs are big, others small. Cats in the main are similar in size. All Americans have the same shaped mouth. The philosophy within me hasn't brushed its teeth yet. Sarah Palin claims she can hit the Golden Cross off the top of St. Peter and Paul's Church in Coit Tower with her rocket launcher because it only takes the bad hair day of one madwoman to take down a wolf in the snow, which coincidentally happened to be the number of members of ZZ Top it took to shunt start with his monster truck, the tram I was stuck on this morning, catching the business end of the mudslinging as the seagulls at Pier 45 were deemed too extreme for California. I was mistaken in thinking that God didn't make the little green apples and that some Walgreens were open all night. My midnight quest to kill the pain thwarted by the laughter of a bum speeding past in his shopping trolley. Ha! Anyone who'd seen Dirty Harry could have told you that. Thank you, San Francisco.
Thank you.
Oh, happy birthday, Dad.
Thank you. All right.
Only be seen.
Wendy, right? Yeah, Wendy, you're up. Okay. She's our mini feature for the evening, but I'm letting everybody else know we're trying to herd our time in, so try to be careful with your time as best you can, and we will take care of things as we do. One of the traditions is have everybody who signs up get on because we like to hear everybody. That's part of the reason we're here, and the mini feature has a little extra time. That's the way we work that, and she prepared hugely for this.
Hello, and thank you so much for coming. And happy birthday, Dan.
She said this so many
and
times
many,
today.
many more. This is really special to him and to me, to all of us. And I feel like whenever anyone has a birthday, everyone has a birthday in a way, because we all get to share in that gladness that someone came to this place.
No vegan cake.
The cake had vegans in it. Jeez.
Good. Dancing vegans.
Dancing vegans, yeah, already.
So Dan, I'm not reading, I'm not supposed to read an anonymous poem.
No, we don't have any more anonymous poems, so we are
Okay.
free of that.
So I have a mixture of more serious song and more peaceful and joyous. And I just wanted to start with this poem, which I couldn't title. I tried everything and nothing. I just couldn't. The main thing I thought of it gave it away too much, so it's untitled. Sometimes I have asked which I would welcome more easily if I needed to choose, the pain of the body or the pain of the heart. For when I am not comfortable with this physical world, how it hurts my mind. But when I am not happy with this world of feeling, how it hurts that innocent part of myself, the part that uplifts and comforts at the same time. Oh, I would not wish to have to consciously choose, for one can seem utterly invasively heavy throughout with burden, while the other burns like a fire, an unbearable piercing straight to that one sore, aching place. I hope, by the grace of God, the grace of love, that is, to someday learn how to live in that pure grace of allowing what is to be. I hope someday, by the grace of forgiveness and faith, to someday know the blessing of pain that, out of an original, simpler, allowing nature, does not have to become suffering. This was from a poem by Rumi, and I sometimes I sing it, but tonight I feel like saying it, and I'm going to change the pronoun to we instead of you. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell us. Don't go back to sleep. We must ask for what we really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are walking back and forth across the doorsill between the two worlds. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep.
I have 8 minutes or
Yeah, but we're going to try to go a little
shorter?
Yes, yes.
Do you want just one more?
No, 2 more is good because you should have a fuller time, but you know.
So, this is a poem that came out of just when everything's going on too much in the committee in my head. And I just have to find a way out of that. And the last poem is going to be one of those answers. And this is called There Is a Way. How will I open my fingers and release you now? You, unreasonable idea, which I have thought I wanted so, but fetters all my steps. Every time I am taken by your fanciful packaging, promising relief, space, and freedom, your surreptitious nature winds me up, flattens me down, undoing my best intentions. To be whole, to be complete, to be grounded in trust, so that the truth in me can sail unencumbered to the destination, to its destination, coming home to love, harmony, and beauty. That is my real longing, a thirst ever to be quenched, because you, O devilish obsession, have not yet ceased to trick me still again. You bring worry and sweat and fear to let go, that if I do, I'll be brought so low. How will I open my fingers and release you now? You, which I have thought I wanted so, but fetters all my steps. No matter what your guise, there are seeds of heaven within, though covered by your made-up story of necessity, ill-gotten perfection, and relentless habitude. But life just flows, has a balance all its own, round and uneven, doesn't fight itself or the unknown. No foes within, no debt to pay. Life is a rhythm that enjoys its own given, doesn't think of what won't work, doesn't bemoan any messes or forbid discovery and guesses. It's not what is seen, it's not what is heard. If the mind is set on neighing, life will always keep a fraying. So, I'll let my fingers open wide and let love's oneness be sure, my guide. Taking a step, there is a way. I'm saying, hey, this is my day to give this all away, all I ever may.
Thank you.
Yeah, but really tiny one, or you want to?
Has to be pretty short.
Really,
Okay, I'll save my other one.
All right.
I'll have to save the other poem about how I get out of that for another time. Since there's not much time left. This is short. This is a poem about Sri Chinmoy, who was a spiritual teacher who, like a Renaissance man, very evolved being, very compassionate, very intelligent, very healthy, and he came to San Francisco often and played like 50 different instruments, about 4 of which he was proficient on, and the rest he was just dabbling with, learning. So this poem I wrote about him, remembering Sri Chinmoy, ambassador of world peace, dissolver of boundaries, spreader of unconditional love, creator of multifaceted beauty, courageous experimenter, gentle yet strong, childlike yet wise, master of life, living what you taught, being who you were, always becoming. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're getting close to our time, so try to be really short, but I want to get everybody in. We have, the next people are all people who are new, except for one, who is concluding our show. So John, is it Sperry? Yes. Sperry, give him a nice round of applause. Loud people, come on, come on. I don't know.
I'm like,
those lucky kids who grew up with a band in the family that was once the greatest in the land at what they did. Unc would say things like, music is something you have to be into, along with a song is something you should feel, and sing louder, John, which I tried to do. Unc's a member of the Hall of Fame in Nashville and rated 22nd in the greatest 40 ever singers there. But the greatest lesson I learned from the band, which was Grandpa and his brothers, is why would you ever waste your breath on anything but a love song? So when you're out there tonight and you meet somebody and you're conversating and you wonder, oh, how I wonder, but do I really want to know how many arms have held you and hated, let you go? I wonder, oh, how I wonder, but do I really want to know how many lips have kissed you and said you're so aglow? I wonder, oh, how I wonder, but do I really want to know how many times have you said I love you, but it all just ended in a dream? I wonder, oh, how I wonder, but do I really want to know? So always make me wonder, always make me guess, and even if I ask you, darling, don't confess, just let it in your secret. And darling, I love you so. I wonder, oh, how I wonder, but do I really want to know? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Here, this is to put the author of the song and like that. Thank you. All right, we have another newbie. Do you want to go? You sure?
Yeah, positive. I'll come next time.
You promise come again? Okay, because otherwise I will then. Okay, all right.
Audrey Sacco.
Audrey, a new one. Come on. I don't hear the house. I don't hear the house.
I just want to say happy birthday. Great to meet you. Congratulations. I'm actually one of these nerd canvassers nowadays for human rights. You might see me out in the street corners doing stuff like Doctors Without Borders and all that. My mother's a poet, so out of respect for my friend, recent housemate with a group housing situation, Marta, and a few of the other teachers and poets, I wanted to come along. If you have something anonymous, I'll gladly pay
Oh
tribute.
no, we ran through all the anonymous pieces. So
well, congrats everybody. Really, you're all beautiful. And if anyone wants to partake in a show on migration, we're inviting pieces, poetry, film, whatever you have. It's Migration, M-Y, Gration, for a multicultural arts group I'm also helping called T-Roots.
And if you give me a method by which means they could find
Yes.
I could put it in my little notes that will go out to them.
It's troots.org.
All right.
It's a nonprofit, not to be confused with Tea Party, okay? So.
Well, I think not.
On that note, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, give her a round as she comes. Now, Okay, I said I would. You're going to come out. I don't want to goof this up.
Hey, just do it, man. Just do it.
Okay.
I didn't know what you were.
Kudaweski?
No, Kudakwasi.
Kudakwasi?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. My eyes, handwriting and something. This is the new person! Come on, the house!
Hey, that makes me feel so much better, you know? Being a visitor, you always never know your audience, and I really like this audience, really.
I like this audience, too. I like you, actually, because you're up there doing it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Actually, my name is Kudakwasi. Originally from Zimbabwe. I'm in America doing school, but also writing poetry. So, all right. Yeah, I hope you guys like this. I'm going to give you today 2 pieces because I'm a visitor. I can't be doing much more. But
are you going to come back later, sometime?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So this one is called Days Are Gone, and basically it talks about like saying goodbye, you know, after a really nice whatever that you spend with someone, saying goodbye, and the complexity of those emotions. And so really, days are gone. Just so hard to believe that just yesterday I was with you. I wish we could go back to that place. Just like Ygritte told Jon Snow, we should have stayed in that cave. We should have stayed in the enclave of that time. In its inertia, we should have lamented our bodies, our hearts, our souls, and refused to move. I'm colorblind without your sight. Everything just a hint of black and white. I need you to see. I need you to be.
Nice.
Let me hear your voice in my quiet times. I want to listen to your thoughts again. It seemed listening to you speak made everything around me come to life. I'm a sucker for words, but in your presence, you always made me want to sing. Remind me what it is to feel. Drive the nib of the pain of your desires onto my soft frame, tattooing the ink of your affection into my driest places. How time goes. Just so hard to believe that just yesterday I was with you. How will I define life? It could end up that my days were filled with dread, my walk filled with shaking. Your love is the only strength I know. I'm weak of your presence, but time says we have to let go. And so really, days are gone. That's the first one. I'm sorry guys to make you so sad.
Well, we've been all over the map tonight, I'll tell you.
We're sad. You know, I didn't mean to bring some sadness in the house, but the next one is called I'm Weak. I think this is actually the most famous poem on my page. So, and I don't really know why, because you know, like sometimes you write things and people really get attracted to them and you just like, I don't know why, but I don't think that's my best work, but this is apparently my best work. So this one is called I'm Weak, and it's basically, you know, talking about, I wrote this when I was thinking about how much you can give to other people to a point that you feel like you've given enough. You called me at the middle of the night to numb your heart. You wish for me to cleanse you, but your heart is full of old memories. You're clogged up with the cobwebs that have formed a mesh around your love vows. I've cleaned and cleaned close to worshiping you. I've just given all I have. My hands are weak. I could do it all again and again if I had the strength. I would sit next to you and have you wrap me in your worries over and over until I'm overwhelmed and choked to your misery. I could be overcast by your worries and grief. Trust me, I could do it all again. Just that you've corrupted me too. Your troubles, I am possessed too. I've been battling your demons. I woke up crying, been crying since then. I would do it again, only if I had the strength. I would love you again, if I could still love myself.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Woo! All right, and she didn't know she was going to be this clincher, closer, super duper bulldozer, but Valley Barra, a famous poet, a well-known featured person, a pillar of the society in San Francisco by Gumbo. She's here tonight, and let me just tell you, you're going to be blown away because she's just absolutely magical and marvelous and wonderful. I could go on, but you know, you want to hear her, right? Not me.
Of course, I mean, with that kind of introduction, Of course I'm going to come here for Dan Brady's birthday. No, we love you, Dan Brady. And a very merry unbirthday to everybody.
Thank you. That was so cool.
I have a very short poem, actually, but I also want to let you know that if you'd like to share your poetry or your music, you're welcome to join us any Friday afternoon at Mutiny Radio in the Mission District. We're there from 3 to 6 every Friday, 21st in Florida. If you want more information, I'll be here for. It was Pirate Cat Radio. It used to be. Now it's Mutiny. Yeah. I'm Diamond Dave's co-host, so we do a show every Friday, 3 to 6. They're called the Common Thread Collective.
Yes, and it's live streaming, so it's not there.
They got a huge audience.
Huge.
Huge.
All right. Huge. So, for your birthday, for all your birthdays, here we go. Short poem. Enter and relinquish. You have stepped onto a ship that is heading into the fog. With the strong hearts of the captain and passengers, trusting in the physics of approach. The unknowing is an afterthought. What's important is the crossing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you to Valley Bottom, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
I'm also helping to organize Peace in the Park. I think it's the 5th annual. So it's going to be Saturday, September 23rd in the Band Shell Music Concourse at Golden Gate Park near the museums from 11 to 6 p.m. I think the website is peaceintheparksf.org, but I'm just getting started with it. But September 23rd.
Okay, thank you, Valley Bottom. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this on pause now because the poetry